Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing makeup. I am going to be showing you how I get my glowy makeup look, which is, what's the word? It is doable in any season: summer, winter, spring, fall. Okay, it's doable. And last. So I'm going to show you how I do it today from start to finish. And I'm excited. It's going to be an exciting process. In my next makeup video, hopefully I will be showing you how I do my full entire glam. I just didn't feel like doing full glam today. So I wanted to get some sort of like makeup video out so that I can share with you my techniques and all of the things that I do to get this face beat. Okay, and let's just get started. So usually if I was doing full glam, I would start, if I was doing full glam like eyeshadow, no, I wouldn't be starting with my eyelashes. If I was doing like a full face and wearing lashes, then I would do my lashes first. In this video, we're not doing lashes first. Okay, we are going to be starting, I think, with my eyebrows. Oh, and I'm going to be talking in this video, so yeah, you can literally like set up yourself. If you want to do it, pause the video, set up yourself, and then we can do it together. And then it's like we're having like in girl time together. Okay, so this is my brow tool. This is from Anastasia, the little ad thing that they did with Monet. And shout out to you, Monet, love ya. But this tool is very cheaply made, not like the other Anastasia tools that I've used before. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So my tip, the spoolie is good, but the little laminating portion, it did not last, girl. And low-key, I am heavy-handed, so, but it's like not very good plastic. So yeah, oh, I wanted to clip back my hair. I was like, y'all like my fro? I did what's it called? I did finger coils, and it took forever. But honestly, I think I'll do it again, because it lasts so much longer as far as like curls wise than like doing a regular wash and go and just like letting my curls rest. So I don't know, it might have won. My arms didn't though. So yeah, so I'm gonna just take my spoolie and brush out my eyebrows. I usually don't fill in my eyebrows unless I'm doing like a full face and I like have to take pictures or something. Which, by the way, I was looking in my old photos and my eyebrow blindness was on 80,000. My eyebrows were like so bulky and just like crazy. This is edge control that I'm using to lay down my eyebrows. Yeah, they were just so bulky and just like really black and bold, and I'm like, oh my god. And people used to tell me that my eyebrows eat down, so we were both blind because it's literally like, I was looking at it like 2 nights ago and I was just like, oh no, this is not right. This is a hate crime that I've done to myself. Like, it was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, this edge control that I'm using, I don't really like it for my eyebrows, but the other one that I was using dried out, so I'm just gonna use this one because this is what I have, but it doesn't really do a good plastering. Honestly, the one that does the best plastering is the Edge Fixer 24-hour edge. That I feel like does a good job. I need to clean up my eyebrows too. I've been doing my eyebrows since 2018. So I've had a good amount of practice with doing my eyebrows, and I just love my eyebrows. I love doing my eyebrows, and I even grew my eyebrows back from when they were like super thin. I don't even think I have a picture anymore because that was like 2016 when they got like thinned out, but I like grew them back with like coconut oil and like oiling them and stuff. So I've had some practice. We've been through a lot. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna prime my face. So sorry if you see me looking over here. I have to look to see because my camera like shuts off after like 10 minutes of recording because it's not made to record. Don't get a T7. So I'm gonna use my primer, my e.l.f. primer, Stay Cool primer stick. I bought this a while ago. It's lasted pretty long. It was like up to like here, I think. I'm gonna use this to prime my face. Usually if I'm doing like this kind of look, I only prime in certain areas. I know, don't come for me, but like this is what I do, okay? But since we're here, I'm gonna just prime all over because I may want to do a little bit extra stuff just so that you guys can have some variability in what you want to do and what you want to don't, and what you want to don't. Okay. What you don't want to use from me. Yeah, I think I've put on enough primer. Okay. Coolio. So, after I do this, and this primer doesn't like dry out, it kind of like hydrates your skin at the same time. So, it's not the best primer I've ever used. So, I would probably rate it like a 7. Like my makeup stays on, right? But it's a combination of everything else that I'm doing too. It's not like a Hydro Grip or the Pore Professional one, which I like both of those. So the first thing I'm going to do is contour. Got my contour stick here. Hopefully I can get this video under 30 minutes. I like to talk, so I don't really know. Sometimes I do put it on my face, sometimes I don't. Today for this video, we're going to be proper. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. The back of my hand is like my paint, what are those things called? When they're like painting? I don't know. I'm going to use this angled brush. It's a contouring brush. And I'm just going to put my brush in here to pick up product. This shade is, this contour stick or complexion stick is Threads from Target. And it's in the shade 180, Rich Brown Cool. And I actually have warm undertones. So it's not the correct shade for me. And that's kind of what I don't like about Target's like makeup selection. Like you can't try stuff, which I feel like, okay, good reason, like whatever, but also like if you're gonna be selling makeup, like at least let a nigga like test it out, you know what I'm saying? Like if I can't test it out, then like how am I supposed to know it's like my right shade, you know? Yeah, gonna go under my chin a little bit. Yeah, I like to do this step first because I don't know, I just do it. I don't know, I couldn't tell you. Okay, then I'm gonna do my blush, my cream blush. So cream is always first, always. I never do powder cream. Powder cream is only creams and then powder. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I will just mess around and just do whatever because I'm in a rush. Okay, I'm gonna take this more dense brush. This is probably like a foundation brush. It's rounded, as you can tell, but I use it to apply my cream blush. These brushes I think I got off of Amazon, except the last brush that I used. That one is from Ulta. I got it like a long time ago. And yeah, this is my e.l.f. Luminous plush. It's called Luminous Putty Blush. I'm gonna put my brush in here and then just put it on my face. I like to use a luminous blush because it gives that glow. Do you see? Okay, next thing I do is concealer. So this is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Yourself foundation and concealer. So the tip part that you take out is the concealer part. I don't really know how the formula is different though. I don't get that. But yeah, I just put it under my eyes. I just tap it directly under my eyes. I put it a little bit around my nose because I have some dark marks there. Put it around my mouth right here. And then usually do my forehead like very lightly since this is not full glam. And then just some dark marks down here. Sometimes I will do like a full line and carve out my blush and contour, but I'm kind of not feeling that today, so we're not gonna do that. Okay, then after I do that, oops, I'm gonna put it a little bit on where my old nose piercing was, which by the way, I low-key want it back. But that would be like the third time I'm getting my nose pierced, and I'm kind of like, that pain after the first time was like pretty crazy. I mean, after the second time was like wild. I was like, whoa, it felt like I was getting my cartilage pierced. I probably will not do that again. Probably not. I'm gonna take my spray bottle and I'm gonna spray my sponge. And when I'm doing a more glowy look, I like to use a sponge. I feel like the sponge kind of helps with like a lighter beat in some way when you're putting on less makeup because it absorbs a lot of product. It's my personal opinion. Don't really know if that's fact. You can fact check me if you'd like, but you know. Yeah, sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use a sponge. Today I'm going to be using a sponge. In my next video, if it's next, hopefully, in the glam, I use a brush. It picks up less product and it's more precise in the lay of makeup. And I go around my mouth first and kind of go around it and blend that out. And then I'm gonna go under my chin over here to blend it out. And I use a tapping. I don't drag. Dragging will create streaks, and you use more hand power, like muscle power, to drag, and it will just pick up your makeup directly. So into the sponge, and versus like tapping, kind of like you're putting it directly where it's supposed to be. To the other side, and I drag it in surrounding areas as well. I do my nose, I do under my eyes last, just to give it some time to kind of like dry out and catch up, if you know what I'm saying. Very good. Now I'm going to go under my eye. I go up into my eye. Go up into my eye. And then I kind of just go in and out. Something that Alyssa Ashley taught me when she used to do makeup videos, was going back and forth between eyes when blending. It helps with the preciseness and like both eyes looking like even or the same, and also you can carry over the leftover product over to here, so it kind of like helps to balance out the amount of product too on both eyes. Obviously I didn't do that, however it was a good tip that I learned, so sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. When I have learned a lot of technique, I kind of pick and choose the days and the times of when, you know, I want to use them or utilize them. Okay, now that I've blended out my concealer, it looks pretty good. It looks like skin, you guys. Oh my god, I hope yours looks like skin too. Can't you tell I love e.l.f.? e.l.f., if you want to sponsor me, I'm your girl, okay? I love e.l.f. down, okay? Y'all upgraded, hi he. Us, bougie on a budget girlies. We're here, we see each other, okay? This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Caramel. And I use this to highlight just under my eyes. And I kind of just apply it under here. This concealer is very similar to the Born This Way concealer. It has a decent amount of coverage, and if I'm honest, I kind of did a little more than I normally do. I will usually do less than this because I want my makeup to give a natural skin finish in some ways, like my skin but better. So yeah, I'm gonna take my fan. I do have a fan. If you do makeup often, you need to get a fan. Just drying down the concealer a little bit. Now for this part, I'm actually gonna use a brush for you guys. So this is a concealer brush. This is also by e.l.f. It's really, really old. And I'm going to take my Sports Fix by Revolution, the Lasting Hold Fixing Spray, and spray my brush down. So it has a little bit of dampness. And then I put it on the back of my hand to kind of like press it in there. All this little technique stuff, guys. So then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to do the same tapping but dragging at the same time method. Tap and drag. So I'm dragging my hand but doing a tapping motion. And I just want to focus underneath my eye at first, and then everything else I can kind of take more underneath. And I do it until I'm satisfied with my blend. I want it to look like it's a part of my skin and not any weird lines and stuff like that. Also, for me, I don't mind creasing, so I don't really try to worry about creasing, but if you do worry about creasing, there are many techniques out there for you to learn about lessening creasing, and one of them is not allowing your concealer to sit for too long under your eye without putting powder. But for me, I just don't really care. Okay, there you go. Always check in the lighting to see just how it's kind of laying down with the rest of my makeup and kind of like blending out in those other areas. And then we're gonna do the same over here. There we go. Period. It's looking fantastic. Yep, perfect. Now, I'm gonna take my, what are these called? Like, the beauty plush things. I don't know what they're called. But I'm gonna take this, the triangle one, and this is Black Opal's True Color Powder in Neutral Light, loose powder. This powder is really good, if I'm honest. And I'm gonna take this and I'm going to put it directly in my powder, and then I'm gonna go on the back of my hand and press it into the powder puff before I put it in, because it kind of takes off all of that extra powder. And I learned this tip from Kyra Nicole. I don't know who she learned it from or she came up with it, but it's a great tip. And doing that same motion of pressing and tapping and dragging rather. And I'm doing it a lot more refined than I would usually do like on a regular day, because I wanted you guys to see like exactly what I'm doing. Again, doing the same thing, going over here, pressing, tapping, pressing, moving, tapping, pressing, moving, tapping. Now, usually on the other, and this powder, BT Dubs, as you can tell, is a very neutral powder. So it's not too bright, which helps with kind of like the evenness of what we're trying to do. I'm going around my nose where I put where I put concealer with just the excess powder, and then I'm gonna go back in, and I just have a little bit. I don't really care necessarily about my mouth. I'm gonna put that down here, and then kind of go over here. I'm not focusing too much on these areas because I don't want to say I don't care, but rather like they're not as important as under my eyes. I like to prioritize under my eyes when it comes to this look. Now, I'm gonna take this Mary Kay brush. It's a powder brush, and my powder by Black Opal True Color in the shade Smokin' Topaz. This powder is also a better version, or a good version is the Sephora collection powder. That powder is amazing. It's $20, super good. Just put my brush in here and tap it, and then tap off the excess of my brush. Are you serious right now? I'm gonna take my powder brush and go over these areas on my face where I've put cream, just setting them in place just a little bit. We're not doing a lot. And in other areas too. I'm gonna go a little bit under my eyes as well, and like that, just kind of taking a little bit of the brightness away. These are like more, it's an oil absorbing pressed powder. This is what that says. And we just want to make sure it's very light-handed, okay? Now, something I'm about to do is very controversial, okay? If you're like me and you don't want to pay $45 for a, what's it called? Bronzer, then I use eyeshadow. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So this is James Charles Morphe palette. It's kind of dirty on this outfit, whatever. It's makeup. Anyway, yeah, this is James Charles in Morphe's palette. I got this from a Marshall's in Palm Springs for like 25 bucks. And I mean, it's a beautifully made palette. It's a really beautiful palette. So I like to use these two brown shades right here. Sorry, not that one. That's orange. These two right here. And they're very pigmented, so really light-handedly. Again, a good one if you want to buy a a bronzer is Fenty's. I feel like she makes really good brown girl bronzers. I'm sure there's more. I haven't used them. Fenty is like the only one that I've used since like 2020. So she's been OE faithful for like a long time. I just haven't re-upped yet. So I will use my eyeshadow, and I use a really light hand, same brush that I used earlier, and kind of went around tapping again, pressing into my skin and dragging at the same time. But I'm still picking up my brush, so I'm not going like this. But also you can do that too if you'd like. Since it's powder, it's not going to be as streaky. Okay, there we go. And then a little bit on my chin. Now I'm going to use this MAC brush that I really love. Did I leave it in here? Oh, it's in here. This MAC brush, I believe it's a blush brush. It might be a powder brush, but I'm going to use this blush brush. And I'm going to use, this is in a Mila Beauty container, but it's actually Sephora Collections blush, and they don't have the shade anymore. So I'm sorry, but it's like this rosy shade. It's so pretty. I get compliments on it all the time. I'm gonna put my powder blush in there. My powder brush in there, and then kind of sweep it across my cheekbones, and you can smile a little bit as you put it on. And I think people like this is my theory, I think people like my blush a lot because I use different shades of blushes. So I use the orange putty, and then I use this pink one, and then I use, or rather it's like more magenta, and then I use this other one by Revolution, which is another pink. So I use different shades. I feel like it just adds like flavor. Like, I don't know. And I do the same thing. There we go. Okay. Now, something else I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my palette, my James Charles palette. And I saw this girl on TikTok do this. I don't know her name. But she went and used a peachy shade to use as a highlighting for under her eye, or brightening rather. And so I've been doing the same thing, just tapping it very lightly in here. It is very pigmented, so I don't want to do too much. And I'm just going to use a light hand and go underneath my eye, just like in the corners, because I want it to be brighter over here. And I kind of drag it down a little bit just to blend it out some. And then I'm going to use a small brush like this. It kind of looks like my my blush brush, just a little bit as far as like the shape. As far as like the shape, it's a little dense. And I'm going to take my black opal powder and I'm going to go over in here with it and kind of use that as a blending for what I just did, brightening, because I don't want it to be too sharp. I still want it to be blended into what I've done. Okay, I think we've done pretty much everything. I don't usually clean up underneath, but if you want to, you can do that. I kind of do that with the concealer when I do the cream. Or when I did the cream rather, if you saw, I kind of like dragged it sore jaw. Next thing we're going to do is set our face. So this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, and then the Sports Fix Lasting Hold. I try to aim away from things that are mattifying because I don't want my face to be matte. So yeah, I'm just going to spray my face with these two. As you can tell, it leaves your face very dewy, and my face is not fully dry, but my skin is very dewy. So I'm going to use my Urban Decay Afterglow palette. It's a highlighting palette, and I'm going to use the shade Side Piece. This palette is pretty old. I'm going to use the Side Piece and put on some highlighter. Okay, I'm going to take a smaller brush, looks like this, for contouring, and I'm going to take the darker brown shade and just tap my brush in there really quick one time, and then I'm going to go on around my nose right here, and then a little bit down the bridge. And then I'm just going to emphasize the button part of my nose because I do kind of have a button nose. And then I'm going to take my powder brush that I used previously for underneath my eye and kind of just blend it out a little bit. There we go. It adds some color to my nose and jaw. Now we're gonna do our lashes. This is the Essence Lash Princess Waterproof Mascara. It's a really good mascara and it's cheap. It's like $4 from Trojan. I'll be back after I put on my mascara. Yeah, we're back. I had to let my camera battery charge because it died. So it's been like an hour. My makeup is like pretty set right now. I actually like my makeup after like an hour or two. I just feel like it looks better, in my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna do our lashes. This is my lash tool, and this is my lash glue. It's a super strong adhesive by I believe. Yeah, it's by I. I put it on the back of my hand. Also, I washed my hand, so there's no contour right there. And I'm going to take these lashes, which are by Ardell. They've been like sitting around, like they're pretty old. But I'm gonna take the medium ones and put them at the tail of my lash, and I'm going to just dip them in there in the front, and then I'm gonna place this underneath my eyelash. Let it dry a little bit because sometimes I'll be playing around. But putting mascara on before actually helps with like it sticking. And it doesn't want to stick right now because it's too wet. I usually let my glue sit for a little bit before I put them on. Oops. Hello? Are you gonna like stick to my eyelash or what? You're kind of playing around low key. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. Seriously. I like to put mascara on to better attach, even though they were trying to play my life. And also, because it makes my eye line appear darker, because these eyelashes are pretty thin. So, yeah. So, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lip products that I'm going to be using today. These are 2 lip liners. I don't usually do this every single time I do my lips. However, I'm doing it today. I just outline my lip with the darker shade, and then I'm going to use the more brown one. These both are by LA Girl, and kind of color in my lip a little bit. Okay. That would be kind of cute like that, low-key, but we're not doing that. That's not the vibe for today. Then I'm going to take my Pumping Gloss by Buxom, Put that on. And then for a little more glossy look, you can just leave it like this or you can add more gloss. And this is the Glow Reviver by Elle. And then I'm going to take my darker pencil and align just a little bit. And that's it. That's all that we do. I know it was a long ride, but this is it. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like it, comment what steps you're gonna add into your routine, and subscribe to this channel so that you can see more videos from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.